So you're in the market for a new car. Maybe you've just passed your driving test. You're a young adult and you're on a seriously tight budget. You're looking for a car for under £1,000. But you start to scour the internet, you look high and low, and you start to realise that all you can seem to afford here are little 1.2 or less cars that are really old, they're rusty, and they're falling apart. What do you do? Well, I was in your exact same shoes a couple of years back. I was young, just passed my test, and I really wanted a fun car. Like, not just a 1.2, yeah sure, it can do the A to B, can commute you to your work, to your university, your college, but what's the point if it's not fun? If it doesn't put a smile on your face? Like, cars can be more than just a piece of utility for you. I mean, a lot of people give their cars names, they form an emotional attachment. That doesn't just stop at the aesthetic, the looks of the car. There's nothing stop to how the car can give you an enjoyment just from driving. So, fortunately for you guys, I went through the hard graft here and I checked out every possible car. I mean, at least 95% of all possible cars that are fun, low budget. And I figured out that the reality is that there's only really one car that is fun and in the price range that you need. Sure, you could add a couple of thousands on top and you could get a much better car, but this is a car that you can start off with. This can be your launch pad. This is a car you could buy for 500 quid, then pay for the insurance monthly, even though annually it's £1,000, and be on the hunt for better hot hatches that insurers might offer particular deals on, as for some reason some insurers just go crazy with their prices every now and then and have it way cheaper than what it should be. So this is what will let you, and has let me, have far better cars than what I should have been able to have had at the time when I was 19. So the car that I'm on about is the Citroen C2 VTS. The Citroen C2 can be bought from as little as £500. It's a 1.6 litre, 125 horsepower that can do 0 to 60 mile an hour in 8.3 seconds. It is a beast of a first car. It is the Ferrari, the McLaren, the Bugatti of first cars. So how do we find this car? First thing you want to do is you want to fire up Ecosia and you want to search up Gumtree. Once you're on Gumtree, you then want to search in Citroen C2 VTS, and it should reveal to you just how cheap these cars are. The cheapest I've seen it on Gumtree is £450. Bear in mind, you can get a pretty good conditioned, lowish mileage for £800, £900. It's important to know that Gumtree is predominantly used for private car selling, while you could use as an alternative Auto Trader instead, which typically commands a slightly higher premium, but not always, and they advertise car dealership. So there's quite a good benefit for these types of cars because they'll typically give you a warranty after purchase, typically up to like 6 months to a year, and then they'll also add on a free MOT upon selling the car, which you should always negotiate with if you're going to go down this route. And the insurance, if you don't have any no claims bonus, if you're brand new to the driving game, can range between 800 to 1200 quid. So it's by far the fastest car you can get for your money. And yeah, it's maybe the most thrilling. In terms of fun, you've also got to consider into that definition the handling, the feel, the overall experience you have when driving the car. And there are other cars that handle better, you get a slightly more enjoyment out of the steering, the response feedback that it gives you going around corners, and better chassis and gearbox. One thing to note is that the C2's brakes are very, very on-off, very grabby, but it's your first car. You're not going to be caring so much about that, and you'll just love the sense of acceleration. There is nothing in this tier that's quite as fast and is as cheap to insure. And cheap to buy, of course. So, there you have it. You can have a hot hatch for £500 with insurance for £1,000 or less. In future videos, I hope to discuss alternative options to the Citroen C2 VTS and look at the best cars you can get a higher price range, like between the £3,000 to £6,000 mark. Also, I hope this guide has helped you out. I intend to make these videos to try reach and help as many people as possible when it comes to buying the first car. I know it's quite a daunting task. So, if you found this video helpful or useful, I thought I'd very, very, very much appreciate a like and a subscribe. This is my first video. I'm probably going to look back at this and cringe my eyes out. Maybe even delete it eventually. But yeah, like if you guys perhaps disagree with my choice of the C2 VTS, please tell me in the comments below, like what would you say is the best first car, and also tell me what your first car was and how it compares. But just remember that this choice is made based mostly on the fastest car you can get on a budget, and I guess I'm valuing a lot of what makes a car fun based on the speed. But to be honest, when you're in that market where your only choices are 1.2s, everything is so pitifully slow that speed seems to be the main factor. So anyway, enough with the ins and outs, shall we say. Yeah, like and subscribe.